Okay, we have death penalty news. Oklahoma's highest criminal court agreed to stop all of the scheduled death penalty executions in Oklahoma after the state's prison system received the wrong drug for a lethal injection scheduled late last week. The Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals granted the state's request and issued indefinite stays of execution for Richard Glossip, Benjamin Cole, and John Grant. Oklahoma's Attorney General Scott Pruitt requested the stays in order to have time to figure out why they were given the wrong drug just hours before Glossip was scheduled to be executed last week. They opened up the box of lethal drugs and realized that they had potassium acetate instead of potassium chloride, which is the third drug used in Oklahoma's lethal injection formula. Typically, it's two or three drugs that are part of that formula. The execution protocols in Oklahoma were overhauled after that botched execution last year of Clayton Lockett. He's the guy who was strapped to the gurney and was writhing and struggling against the restraints before being declared dead 40 minutes after the procedure began. And the Attorney General Pruitt is saying, quote, "Until my office knows more about these circumstances and gains confidence that the Department of Corrections can carry out executions in accordance with the execution protocol, I'm asking the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals to issue an indefinite stay of all scheduled executions." I am hopeful that the death penalty is starting to enter its final grim and macabre throes, right? One of the main problems with the death penalty, aside from the cost, aside from whether it can be done in a way that is not cruel, aside from whether it is a business and activity that states should be engaged in, one of the main problems is that 1 in 25 on death row are not guilty, according to a recent study that we've discussed extensively. And that may be the case here in this particular case with Richard Glossip. Glossip's execution is controversial because he was convicted almost entirely on the testimony of Justin Sneed, the guy that Glossip is accused of having hired to kill their mutual boss. Justin Sneed confessed to bludgeoning their boss to death. Barry Van Treese was his name, with a baseball bat. And he implicated Glossip. The prosecution of Glossip is based exclusively on the testimony of Sneed, and it is believed that Sneed did that merely to avoid the death penalty. It doesn't even matter, right? In case you care about this particular case and you know that 1 in 25 on death row are not guilty, that's just a little bit of the detail of this particular case, but the death penalty has to go. As we know, 31 of 50 U.S. states still have the death penalty. That means 38% of U.S. states have ended the death penalty. And then here is Oklahoma, which is suspending it as a matter of administrative procedure, right? It's not, the state has not abolished the death penalty, but it is indefinitely suspended by administrative procedure. Anytime you stop executing people as part of state sanctioned killing, I think that that's a good thing.